Hello and welcome to Maths Made Clear with me, Miss Snowden.
And me, Mr. Burrows.
Today we're going to show you some simple division strategies you can do at home with your children.
Let's go.
So at its simplest, division is all about taking a number of objects and then splitting them into a number of equal groups. And the goal is that we're trying to see how many times a smaller number or amount will go into a larger one.
There are different ways we can look at division. First of all, we're going to look at grouping. So let's take 20 apples. We can group these 20 apples into different bags. We're going to have 5 apples in each bag. 5 in one bag, then 5 in another, then another 5, until we've got all of our apples in a bag. Then we look at how many bags there are. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, showing that 20 divided by 5 equals 4. We could use counters to show this, or we could show this by using Numicon. So here we are. We've got 2 sets of 10 Numicon to make 20. We know that we're dividing by 5, so I'm going to get my 5 Numicon, and I'm going to place it on top of my 10 Numicon so that all of the Numicon is covered up. Then I'm going to count how many groups of 5 I've got, how many pieces of 5 Numicon I've got. Oh, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know 20 divided by 5 equals 4.
Another way that we can visualize division as well as grouping is also sharing. Now, sharing is really good for using different items. So, we might use counters or different things in the classroom, but actually you can use anything you've got. Raisins, anything you've got lots of. Teddies would be amazing for doing sharing for this particular case. So let's have another look here. So we've got our 20 apples between 5 bags, but we can share them. So how many would be in each bag? So we can have our 5 bags here, and we've got our 20 apples, and we can just share them equally. Or we could talk about sharing sweets between friends, or sharing, if you were having a tea party with your teddies, how many would each teddy get? That sort of thing would be really good. We can also use a bar model to show this. So if we have 20 as our top bar here, our whole, our total, then we can actually look at splitting the 20 into 5 equal parts. And what number would be in each part? Well, we know that 20 divided by 5 based on this is 4. So actually 20 is 5 equal parts of 4. We could also write down formally 20 divided by 5. And as your children get older, with their times table knowledge, hopefully they will know that 5 times 4 is 20. And so the answer, 20 divided by 5, is 4. Because something we try to link in is the fact that multiplication and division are the opposite of each other. So if you have multiplication facts, you also have division facts too.
So we can use that knowledge to help us with partitioning. What if we take a bigger number, say 48, and we want to divide it by 4? We could partition the number 48 into 40 and 8. Using our bar model, we could then split 40 into 4 groups of 10. So we've got 40 at the top, and I'm making 4 groups of 10 on my bar model. We can do the same for 8, and I want to split 8 into 4 groups. I'm going to split 8 into 4 groups of 2. Then I've got 10 and 2. I can add them together, so 10 plus 2 is 12. So I've worked out that 48 divided by 4 equals 12.
As your children get further up the school, they will then start to look at formal methods of writing division down. We call it short division. So let's have a look at 64 divided by 4. This is what it looks like with short division. Now what we do is we divide each place value column, so the 10s first, and then the 1s by 4. We just look at each individual digit. So it would be 4 going into 6s. Well, you can get 1 4 into 6, and then you've got a remainder of 2. Remainder is what's left over. So you've got 2 left over. So you're going to write 1 up here at the top to show that's the first part of the answer. And then you're going to write the 2 just before the next digit, the 4 1s. And actually what you've made there is you've made the number 24. So then you're going to move on to the next digit, well, in this case 24, and then you're going to divide 24 by 4. Well, 24 divided by 4, again with times table knowledge, equals 6, which you're then going to write next to the 1. So 64 divided by 4 is 16. Now then, what if we go for something slightly more complicated? Rather than 64 divided by 4, we're going to go with 65 divided by 4. Well, as you can see, the process is exactly the same. But actually, rather than getting a nice neat answer, we're going to have 1 left over. Well, again, as we said, this is called a remainder. So we could express this, we could show this answer as 16 remainder 1, or we could look at it in different ways. If we were thinking about fractions, this is 16 wholes and 1 part of 4. So we could say the answer is 16 and 1/4. Or if we're looking at decimals, we could say that this is 16.25. If you're interested in decimals and fractions, then go and have a look at our video on that.
Well, we really hope this has been helpful for you. If you're unsure, please make sure you ask your child's class teacher. We're always around and happy to help. Don't forget to find our other videos about lots of other maths topics. Thank you, bye.
Thank you, bye.